Hello, welcome to the Fem Universe. My name is Tatiana. Today we're going to be diving into the different male archetypes that can be found through this book. King, Warrior, Magician, Lover. If you would like to go more in depth on the different male archetypes that we'll be discussing today, this is a really good book. It goes very in depth, not just on the surface level, but also it goes very in depth on the psychology and the mature and immature versions that can be experienced, as well as the different roles that a man can experience from boyhood to manhood. To set a foundation, the author started by opening on what masculine rituals, what boy psychology, and what man psychology will be the foundation before going into the different archetypes. The authors share how important it is for a boy to go through an initiation. This initiation is to be able to better assist the transition from boy to man, and they emphasize on how important these rituals are, as without them a man can seem like he doesn't have his life put together. And this is something that nowadays we see less and less initiations. Historically is something that hasn't been seen before. Nowadays we see these initiations less and less than before. Boy psychology. So boy psychology emphasizes on when a man operates and follows a blueprint that is appropriate to boyhood, and when they are allowed then to rule what is considered adulthood. When the archetype of boyhood has not been properly built and structured to transcend the ego, then accessing the archetype of adulthood, of mature masculinity, then it's more inaccessible, and it's a cause to then act on their hidden boyishness, essentially describing the psyche in conscious and unconscious ways that first took place earlier on in childhood, and the importance of those character traits that will ultimately be the ones that will be carried through from boyhood to manhood. The book describes the male psyche in its mature and immature form, creating a three-part structure. It is strongly emphasized how the importance of building these pyramids, essentially, of first boyhood to then manhood, to constitute the structure of the masculine selves, building brick by brick towards the goal of mature masculinity until reaching a higher platform at the top. And they use different techniques to be able to gain more of a richer perspective, to be able to achieve that mature enlightenment. And this is all done towards empowerment. The book also emphasizes on the overlap to be able to enrich from one archetype to the other. A good and generous king who leads is also a great warrior. A warrior who acts is also a positive magician who thinks, who is also a great lover who feels. Okay, let's dive into the 4 archetypes. Starting with the king. A good king is wise, a great leader, has vision, direction, stability, structure. He is balanced, calm, centered, and grounded. The king energy is primal in all men. It comes first in importance, and it underlines and includes the rest of the archetypes in perfect balance. And in many ways, the king energy is also the father energy, with a vision for himself, vision for his family, vision for his community, vision for the world. This energy looks at the small details, but also can take a step back and look at the bigger picture and assert himself in a way where he can take the best steps and best course of action. He has developed a good time management, priority management. He is connected to his instincts, to his wisdom, and is balanced enough to not create mass destruction, as a more immature king would be more of a tyrant. The king has a good understanding on what a good foundation looks like and feels like, to be able to later on enjoy in life, as he knows that he took the time earlier on to prioritize that foundation. He understands the importance of having mentors, of seeking advice, the importance of partnerships, and being able to listen to advice, being able to essentially be open and receptive to others being able to alert him on his blind spots, and he's able to take that advice in a constructive way. He also takes good partnership at home with his queen. Him and his queen know their roles at home. They know where they stand. They know what each one fulfills, and they know how they both complement one another. He has an understanding and vision for the future, and understanding of also what type of legacy he wants to leave behind. He takes the necessary psychological and financial steps to ensure that his family, his wife, his children are able to prosper. And also he balances time to be able to be present with his family. Now, the immature version of a king is a tyrant. This is the type of energy that didn't learn how to master or control his impulsiveness, his self-gratification, his deceptiveness, or narcissism. This is the type of energy that feels that the world revolves around him, and he envies those that he perceives have more success than him, or might have a higher position, as deep down he is very insecure. An example mentioned in the book is in the Christian story when Jesus was born. King Herod ordered his soldiers to murder every male child that was born. The tyrant king hates, envies, and fears new life, as he senses a threat to his own kingship. He is not centered, he is not calm, he gives into his impulses, he is not regenerative, he is not about creation as much as he is about destruction. To cultivate healthy king energy, have a vision, continue learning and expanding your knowledge. Meditate, get to see both sides of duality of the mind to be able to assert yourself in a way where you are coming from an empowered place. That way you're able to have and increase your bigger perspective. You broaden your perspective and you're able to see your own patterns where there might be a chance for self-sabotage, and you're able to act earlier on rather than dragging it along the way and potentially end up hurting yourself along the way. Be open to listen to wise ones on your potential blind spots. Connect to your heart and your inner and moral compass. Build your own sense of security and confidence, as insecurities are what end up leading this type of archetype to its downfall. Get a planner to get more structure in complete tasks. Create a vision board that feels good to look at. The next archetype is the warrior. The warrior energy is all about action, strength, focus, energy, force. He is strategic, precise, and tactile. He is a hunter. He has very strong instincts. The warrior is always alert. He is always awake. He knows how to focus his mind and his body. He is what the samurai called mindful. For the healthy warrior, following through, having integrity, and having honor are very important to him. He is a man of his word. He finishes what he starts. So for this energy, it's very important to have a good understanding on how your energies work. To not say yes to everything, as preserving energies is very important. They don't do things to impress others, but rather for a greater purpose. He is aligned to his goals and his passions. The warrior is self-sacrificing for a greater good, for his family, for his focus. Sacrificing doesn't just mean to die for. Sacrificing can also mean sacrificing addictions that are distracting, that can cause harm and pain. Sacrificing not taking the easy path, not wasting time or money just for fun, just for the sake of it. He follows his path even if it feels secluded at first. He is disciplined, he thinks fast, he is assertive, he has direction and is aware of his own strengths, and has built up the ability of self-awareness to the point where he is able to realistically self-assess his life, be able to tell where he needs to improve, where he needs to change, where he needs to take a different route, and figure out a plan A, a plan B, a plan C. If he needs to redirect himself, recourse his path, he does so in order to recenter himself, which brings him alignment. He's able to break through and be able to utilize his energy to hustle, to focus on achieving, even if he has to sacrifice his comfort zone, such as leaving his family for a greater purpose. Some of the challenges that he might face include having to balance his heart and his mind, coming across as distant and unapproachable. Or he might go the opposite way and become lazy and stagnant. He might procrastinate, which is why building self-discipline is so important for this type of energy. Practicing mindfulness, practicing meditation, being able to be present, being able to self-assess himself as he goes through life. Or on the other hand, he might become a workaholic. He might struggle balancing both home and the professional, which might lead him into inconsistency and unbalance with lack of presence in his family, in his relationships, where he's trying to cultivate these relationships. So being able to be self-aware, having healthy limits, being able to build healthy habits, having a healthy lifestyle, eating healthy and nutritious, releasing stress in healthy and mindful ways can help him to enjoy his life, to be able to enjoy the experience of being alive. And releasing stress also might help him to not lose his hair too early on. To cultivate the warrior energy, have healthy habits that lead to healthy discipline. Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to waking up early, starting an intermittent fasting diet, taking cold showers, as there's a lot of benefits in them, and this can also exercise your discipline and being able to put yourself in a mentality of being able to break through challenges. Exercise your willpower, exercise your body, go out for hikes, spend time in nature and be able to connect to your instincts. Strengthen the communication with your body and be able to utilize different tools, different exercises to be able to tame the inner rage inside. And don't forget to celebrate the little wins that lead to the staircase of big wins. Next archetype we have is the Magician. The Magician energy is all about wisdom, intuition, knowledge, and being able to be the observer. The Magician archetype is the knower. He is the master of technology. He is a ritual practitioner. He could be a ritual elder who guides others in the process of transforming themselves internally and externally. The Magician knows that perception is what gives meaning to things. The Magician trusts that things will work out and unfold with time. This energy does not need logic or rationality. He is less concerned with the material, with the physical, than he is more concerned with the metaphysical and the spiritual. We see the Magician influence and the energy that drives our modern world and our modern civilization, as we were influenced by tribal and ancient societies. So we see this archetype in shamans, medicine men, wizards, witch doctors, inventors, scientists, doctors. All of these access the same masculine energy pattern, regardless of their age or culture. These examples spend a great amount of time, energy, and money getting initiated into the rare realms of the secret and sacred powers, and how to utilize it, exercise it, activate it. Many human magicians are using their knowledge and technical proficiencies to be able to benefit others as well as themselves. The Magician energy is also present in the warrior archetype, as in the form of his clarity thinking, as the Magician doesn't have the ability to act. That is the warrior's specialty, but he does have the ability to think. Different than the warrior, the Magician might not need as much evidence to be able to go for something. The Magician is able to relax and observe. He is aware of both, the conscious and the unconscious, as above, so below, as within, so without. In the book, they note a quote from Carl Jung, who was asked if he believed in God, and his response was, "I don't believe in God. I know God." If you want to cultivate more of the Magician energy, prioritize learning, prioritize self-reflection, meditation, prayer, visualizations, Increase your connection to your consciousness. Get to know your subconscious. Embrace being the observer of your life. Don't take things literally. Practice more detachment in that way. Practice patience, go out in nature, and practice being grounded, practice being mindful, and connecting to your senses and listening to the surroundings and the visuals that you are able to witness. Seek and listen to guidance from masters in their craft. Meditating will help see beyond the realms of illusion. You are a powerful creator of your own life. Next archetype is the lover. The lover energy has strong connections to his senses, to his spirit, to energy. He is compassionate, he is intuitive, empathetic, and optimistic. The lover archetype is of play and display, of healthy embodiment, like literally being embodied. He is rather sensitive to the physical world. His connectedness is more through feeling rather than intellectual. He is connected to the primal hungers that feel passionately, what goes beyond the surface. Love, as we know, is warm, it's hot, and often it's too hot to handle. The lover energy wants to be touched by everything, physically, emotionally, and be able to be touched also by everything. So sometimes he lacks to recognize boundaries. He wants to live out with the world he feels connected to. This deep, oceanic energy of connectedness is the lovers. The conscious of being able to experience everything so deeply is also experiencing the highest highs and also the lowest lows. He can experience both great joy, great happiness, and deep pain and sorrow, which can lead into possessiveness, also leading to his own self-destruction and the destruction of others. He could feel lost, lack direction, not really know what he really wants at his core, and given to addictions that bring a temporary gratification, but ultimately would have a healthy, long-lasting effect. When the lover is in a healthy state, he can enjoy connecting to a higher power, to pure love, experiencing this oneness with all. In experiencing, he is not a drop in the ocean, he is the ocean in a drop. This can be achieved through self-love, through meditation, transcending dimensions, feeling that oneness, that connection, that universal feeling. Feeling that universal love, feeling bliss, feeling sin. That connectedness with the sky, with the birds, with the trees, with the stars, with the plants, and feeling that pure energy of love. The lover is often creative. He can be artistic, poetic, or could be drawn to these things as they are ways to express, to create, and continue to expand his senses in productive ways. Or he could utilize them as practices to manifest. When the lover is coming from a pure heart-centered place and is able to know what he wants and is able to integrate and harmonize the wisdom of the magician, the discipline of the warrior, and lead himself as the king, he is able to transcend, to evolve, to live a more fulfilling life. With a stronger vision and plan of action, he can balance being a lover, a husband, a father with a purpose. Some ways to cultivate the lover energy in your life is to spend time in nature and appreciate its beauty. Connect to nature, feel one with nature, and practice that connection to oneness. Practice more compassion, more self-love. We truly cannot love another person if we first don't know how to love ourselves. We can't pour water from an empty cup. So it's important to realize through self-awareness, through meditation, really getting to know yourself, what real love means to you, what that looks like, what that feels like, and what that would be wonderful to live as part of your life story. So practice raw honesty with yourself. Get into soulful creative activities and create some beautiful crafts. I hope you enjoyed and this was helpful. Feel free to leave in the comment section down below which archetypes were the ones that you resonated most with, which practices you would like to start exercising in your life. If you'd like to watch the female archetype version that I have, I'm going to link that as well so that way it's accessible for you. If you would like to connect with me in my world, the information will be included under the description of the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you have an amazing day and I'll see you next time. Bye.